If you want to step up your fluke game to the next level, then this video is for you. I want to share with you some unique tips on rigging a fluke, guys. I've been fishing a soft plastic jerkbait known as the Fluke forever. It's one of my favorite lures. Growing up, I could fish it on the bank, on a pond. I took it to the boat, guys, and now, of course, with forward-facing sonar, the jig head minnows became a thing with the fluke. But we're not talking about that today. We're going to get some unique fluke rigging tips. Welcome to the Fishing Coach YouTube channel. I'm Coach E. We're about to share with you. I got all my tackle out here. One thing about that got me starting to think about these different rigging for the flukes is the fluke is very popular for throwing at schooling bass. When bass are breaking the surface, eating on shad, you got them breaking. It's a great lure to throw across them, but also there are good sized fish under them eating, and you're trying to get those, and a fluke at times does really, really good getting them. So let's talk about a couple of them. The first one we're going to get into is the juice. Now, this is one kind of new way to rig it, is a line through. Okay, and I say new, this is, let me kind of get my stuff rigged here, but it's a line through, and I'm going to talk about the new. Now, one thing I did not do that I would say on this particular setup, I should put a bobber stopper on here, but I wouldn't. But what we have here is a little head that I'm going to go over here in a second. It will screw in the head, and then you can have your treble hook up top that will help you catch them fish. And one thing, and I'm going to talk about this treble hook here in a little bit. Now, and you know how when it's hot right now, they're schooling, and you might lose fish traditionally with just it rigged like I had here, okay? And I know people will kind of put the hook out and expose it, and that's okay, but this gives it a little different action. Now, there's other ways to rig the line through. You can go YouTube it. There's some sweet videos. One way I did it, I tried it a long time ago and caught some fish with it, but then, you know, I just didn't stick with it. But you can get some tools at a shop, at like a hardware store, put a little tube through there, have a little thing up here, and it kind of goes in, get your treble hook. It's a pretty sweet rig. This right here is the X-Zone Whiplash, okay? Now this head is a unique head design for a line through on swim baits. 6 cents. Guys, you know, I'm not affiliated with 6 cents, really. I mean, I'm not affiliated with any of these guys, but that's one of 6 cents, I think, pretty good products they've made. They have some gimmick products, some products I know they like to sell real good, you know, but this one right here is very useful, and like, you know, I like throwing their crankbaits and baits, guys, but this right here is one of their best unique products that's different than other products on the market. It's not just like a fluke where everybody has a fluke. So I think it's pretty unique. So you can use it right here, but like I said, if I used it on this rig, I would have a bobber stopper up here, okay? And it gives this thing different action in the water. You have some hooks here that are exposed and be able to catch more fish. Now let's talk about that treble hook though, okay? Let's talk about that treble hook before I go into a pretty next cool rigging tip. Now, if you did rig it, this is the old pork shad, by the way. I like the old pork shad Outlaw Magic. I'm about to show y'all a cool thing I did do a long time ago that I'm about to get back. So one thing you can do, now this hook was a size 4. You can take these hooks, let me get one out because I need it. And one thing I've seen, I've not done this one, but like I said, this time of year the fish's mouths are hot, the mouths are soft because it's hot. One thing you can do is have this hook right here, okay? Here, let's go ahead and do it. Let's just go ahead. Why not, Jimmy? Now, I would have a rubber piece. My rubber piece, I should have pulled it out, is in my tackle box, okay? It's down there in my tackle box. But look, I can have this hook right here, have a treble on there. I can put that treble up here, okay? And now all of a sudden, look, I got extra hooks right here. Now, the only thing I don't like the hooks on the bottom is because it might get them in the bottom of the mouth, okay? That's one thing about this that I don't really like. Now, I'm going to show you something else, though, that you can do, okay? So I'm going to take this off real quick, all right? And another way to rig the fluke, guys, is with the hover rig. And that's what I've been doing lately in these schools of shad is the hover rig. But one thing I'm about to start doing, okay, and it made me think a bit with that right there, that little tip, was putting this hook right here on the hover rig, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is get me a little, you know, rubber piece right there and put it, and then I have that treble hook out there, okay? Now this hover rig here is paired with the Rapala Crush City freeloader. It's caught some fish, it's beat up, and one thing about the hover rig, guys, if you do start catching fish with it, they keep catching fish, okay? This thing's caught a lot of fish, it's beat up, I'm trying to make it last, so I probably need to put a new one on there. But one thing like I want to do in those schooling fish is I'm going to put that rubber right there and have me an extra hook right there, okay? Now the next rigging tip, this is one that's really unique, okay? Really unique. I talked about this on the classified before. I hadn't done it in a long time, and you would normally rig this in with your hook. I know over here I had a little EWG. You can also rig it with the offset worm hooks as well. But here, hey guys, I'm going to share a couple ways you can help support my business, and I'm going to ask you guys a couple other things as well. I have the one-on-one virtual lessons where we can have a Google Meet and talk about a lake, talk about techniques for a 1 hour lesson. I also have my on-the-water lessons where we can go over offshore bass fishing, go over techniques. My most requested is the forward-facing sonar, and I will jump in your boat or you can come in mine, and we can go all in on the forward-facing sonar on the water. A couple things I'm going to ask, and I want your comments right now is I could have the channel membership options. I'm thinking about making some channel memberships where I do an extra tip video a month for if you're a member, and just a couple other things I can do with it. If you're interested in supporting the channel, supporting what I do, leave me some comments if you think the channel membership is something you are interested in. Guys, thank you very much. Now let's get back to the video. So here's a fluke. I cut the tail off and I put the tail spinner on it. I like doing this in schooling bass. I remember trying this one summer out and dude, like it works, you know. And I don't know if just with the action, you're still jerking it like a fluke. And when you're jerking it and killing it, the vibrations of this is spinning in the water, and it's just a pretty neat, different type of, like I said, with a fluke. And you don't see this much. And like I said, I probably should go out there and catch some fish and do this and then get this on the video for y'all. I thought about this earlier when I was wanting to make this video, and I remembered that one. So I'm going to probably try to get that done for you guys. So this is just a humdinger tail spinner, okay? Keith Pochet, it's one of his deals. I'll put all the links to all this stuff in the description for you guys. Okay, guys, I just coughed, all right? Now, one last way to rig a fluke. Now, this one is one I'm still trying to figure out, okay? Because it's happening in other places, and it's not happened for me yet, okay? I've caught a couple fish on it, but it's getting that super fluke. This is the giant fluke. I have it rigged on a 7/0 1/4 ounce core tackle tush swim bait hook. And Johnny's caught some fish with the Sakamata shad with this in the fall on his Fish of the Moment channel before. And me and him are trying to get this figured out, kind of fishing like the jig head minnow, or just kind of, you know, throwing it fish like a hair jig on spots. We've caught fish with it, just not really cracked the code with it and loaded the boat with them yet. So that's something else you can do with the bigger size flukes, okay? So guys, out of all these rigging tips, what's your favorite? What's one unique rigging tip that you have, okay? Let me know if there's something unique that you'd like to share, or something about the fluke that you like. These rods here, I had these on, were 7-1 medium light level NGX series. They just got the new rod of the year, the best new rod on the iCast. Because I've been using them. They're pretty sweet rods. If I was still on a bait cast, I'd do a 7.2 or 7.3, okay? Medium heavy, fast action as well. But guys, now let's go into the Faith Juice segment. Here you are, guys, on the Faith Juice segment. Once again, appreciate all the comments, all the feedback that you have gotten. And this one right here kind of can is something that it can touch all of you. And it's about choosing your friends, or what friends you're hanging out with and dealing with the most. You always hear about, there's a saying, you are who your friends are. And there's just, there's something to be said about, like, being around a lot of people that make good or bad decisions. Okay, so a couple of things I'm going to share real quick. I got two in Proverbs, guys, if you follow along, I love Proverbs. Where's it at real quick? I have my notes right here. Proverbs 17:17 is, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a difficult time. Pretty good there. Proverbs 27:17, which is one more popular one that's been talked about. Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another. Okay, so one thing about friends and hanging out with, and I saw it growing up. I'm hearing, I always heard about this, and hanging out with people making bad decisions, there's a good chance you are too. And it's really, big case when you're younger, but still you could be in your 40s and 50s and hanging out with the wrong people, or you have some friends that are really make good decisions and help you out along the way. And that's what I'm getting to is you have friends, and then I just mentioned there you even have brothers that are like kind of that tighter bond. But one thing I know with me is I have a good group of little friends. It can be anywhere from like 23 years old all the way to 60s, okay, of somebody that I can trust to and talk to, and that will help me in a situation. And that's one thing I look back right now, like the people I talk and hang with, man, I don't really hang with much people as I used to due to the kids, but that they all make good decisions and they are in a good spot in life, but they also have other people that help as well. So that's just one thing, depending where you're at. If you have a friend or you're hanging out with the wrong people, you're doing the wrong things after work, guys, just really think about it, because it will add up over time and time. But one thing I know is having a good group of friends that will help you in your spot. Like for me, I'll have people that will share scripture, will share encouragement. It helps me, lifts me up, and I'll try to do the same to others. So be that friend this week that's a good friend, positive influence. And like I said, if you're hanging out and you know it with just people that's not doing the right things right now and they're holding you back, it's okay to push them away. As I had to do that when I was in college. Like I said, I was in college. I had a group of friends that were more into the live in the moment life, and I was not in like that. And I say live in the moment, like they were just, doing things that I knew that would like slow me down and slow my goals for my life and mess my situation up. So I started pushing friends away, just, and I still love these guys, and there's still people that will call me. I will right now do anything for them. But for me in my situation with my wife, my kids, I'm very careful with who I hang with and situations I put myself in. Okay, appreciate it, guys. Thank you for checking out the video. The next one I'm about to make right now, I'm excited about it. Okay, about to see a big bag of fish caught, and I'm going to go into more in depth on that video. Appreciate it, guys, and we will see you on the next one.